Okay, now that we've learned the clean, now we can get into squats. Now there's probably a whole bunch of different kinds of squats. I'm going to show you the main ones. First one is the goblet squat. Now there's a lot of experts that believe that the goblet squat is one of the best 3 kettlebell exercises you can do. Simply, the goblet squat, now that we can do the clean, okay, we're going to clean that kettlebell up here. We're going to grab the kettlebell either like that, which really makes you crush your pecs together and gives you a heck of a shoulder and a pec workout, or you can grab the kettlebell like this, which hits the arms a little bit more, gives you a bit of an anchor, takes a little bit of the pressure off the pecs. But if you really want a good workout, holy moly, you can't go wrong with this kind of a goblet squat. Now, the goblet squat, we're going to have the kettlebell like that. Everything's tight, our abs are tight, and we are going to squat down to the point where, hey, my elbows are pretty much touching my knees. And then come on back up. Okay, so you're going to squat down and back up. Okay, now it looks like this from the side. Here, down, and then back up. Okay, the beauty of this is if you try to do a sloppy squat and you lean forwards, gosh, it's going to make it really hard because my arms are going to do all the work. So if I keep this weight, this center of gravity balanced like this, then it forces me to do a perfect squat every time. And if you keep your body tight, that's going to give you a heck of a core workout, and it's going to warm you up for the other types of squats. So let's clean the kettlebell. Okay, here it is, and I'm going to clean it. And I'm going to have this arm out to the side. You can have your arm on your hip. It doesn't matter. I just prefer this way because it keeps my balance a little bit better. And I'm going to squat down and on back up. And down and back up. Now initially when you're squatting, your squat might not be quite as deep as mine. It took me a long time to get there. Okay? But it's really important to get down there eventually, because that's going to keep your hips healthy, it's going to keep your hamstrings lengthened out, keep your ankles mobile. It's fantastic. I just read an article about how people in the third world like to hang out in this position. Okay, so that's the one arm squat. Okay, we'll be doing lots of these during the video, and the excellent thing with that exercise is the weights here, this side of my abdominals has to really kick in to stabilize. Okay, your core is gonna say goodbye to low back pain if you do kettlebells correctly. Now the next type of squat is the thruster. Okay, clean the kettlebell at my shoulder. I'm going to squat down just like normal, but this time I'm going to stand up so quickly that the kettlebell is going to come overhead. Then I'm going to control it down and repeat. Okay, try 5 of those with me. See how hard this is. Ready? Here we go. Down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. That gets your heart rate up in a hurry. Another type of squat that doesn't look that hard, but it makes for a heck of a good quad workout, is the squat kick. So I want to kick with the opposite leg that I'm holding the kettlebell side of the body, and that didn't sound right at all. I want to hold on to that kettlebell with my left hand, kick with my right leg. What that's going to do is concentrate the load on the side of my body that the kettlebell is loaded on. Watch. Do it with me. Clean that kettlebell, bring it up, squat down, and then when you come up, do a bit of a kick. Okay? It doesn't matter what your kick looks like. Come on down and kick. Let's do 5 of those. Just see what happens to this quad here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good work. Okay, now for the ultimate in challenging squats is the overhead squat. Now, of any questions I get about my videos, it's usually about how the heck can I do the overhead squat, where people can do them but they're not happy with them. They're not happy with the depth, they're not happy with how it feels, they're not happy they can't keep their arms straight. Now, a little cheat, people ask me all the time, is it easier to do kettlebells in the sand? 99% no, 1% yes, because when you're doing the overhead squat, the biggest limiting factor for a lot of people is their ankle mobility. Now, when I'm in the sand, I never told anyone this is a little secret, but during my videos before I did my overhead squats, I made a little hole for the fronts of my feet so that instead of my feet being completely flat, they were slightly tipped downwards, and then that allowed me to get away with a little bit less ankle mobility. So that's what I just did now. At home, I don't know, take a 5-pound plate, take a phone book, take something to elevate your heels. They use them in in Olympic lifting all the time for squatting. Having that little bit of an elevated heel will make this exercise so much easier. Eventually, you'll get your ankle mobility to the point where you won't need it anymore. But for the time being, elevate those heels slightly like I just did in the sand, secretly. And I'm going to bring this kettlebell up. I'm going to pop it overhead, okay? And then I'm going to keep that arm there. I'm going to keep my abs tight. I'm going to bring this arm out here. I'm going to try to keep this arm as straight as I can. Deep breath in and come down and then back up, okay? So my core is working like crazy to do this, not to mention my legs, my arms, and that is a fantastic exercise. But the main thing I did there was tip my feet downwards.